weeks ago, a young lady named Disha was raped and murdered in Hyderabad. Subsequently, the police arrested a few accused and they were killed in an encounter. Now, people had multiple views about the encounter. Some said it was justified, some said it was not justified. But one thing which everybody agreed upon and we cried hoarse about was that the Indian criminal justice system has failed. It just does not have the ability to give justice in time, even for serious and sensational cases like this. Now, I'm an ex-IPS officer and I have seen the system from inside, and I would like to share with you my understanding of how the system works and the level of dysfunctionality, how broken the system is. So let's start with the FIR. Right? If you are unfortunately a victim of a crime and try to get an FIR registered, you are going to face a really torrid time. There's a very high chance that police will be seriously reluctant to take the FIR, and you may be asked to go to some other police station or come another day. It's a huge challenge. Even if you get the FIR registered, let's talk about the investigation process. First of all, police is, for the most part, highly overworked and untrained. I have seen examples where police officers have been posted in cyber crimes units and they have absolutely no exposure to cyber crimes. In fact, they don't even know the basics of technology or information technology or computer science. How will they investigate cyber crimes without knowing even what an IP address is? That's the current state. If you look at the forensic skills and the forensic science aspect of investigation, when I was in the police many years back, to get a basic forensic report, sometimes it would take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Now think about it. If you have a medical problem and you go for a health checkup, you get a blood report in 3 hours, in 6 hours, in 24 hours. And here it would take years. Today, of course, the time has come down, facilities have improved, but even today, it can easily take many, many months to just get a simple forensic report. On top of that, policemen and police officers are very often accused of being insensitive, corrupt, and in many cases, those things are true. With all of this now, let's say the case is investigated and the accused are arrested and the case goes for trial. Then what happens? So first thing is the whole procedure, the rules and the Evidence Act, it is so onerous, it is so difficult to put a case together and do a proper trial that just to give an example, if you take the case of Tarun Tejpal Tehalka, when charge sheet was filed in his case, the charge sheet was 2,900 pages. I kid you not. In the name of God, why do we need to have, or why does the police need to submit a 3,000-page charge sheet? And think about it. This is one special case in which the government and the prosecution, they put all their resources. But do you really think that in a normal crime case, day-to-day basis, whatever comes up, right? Do you think the investigators have the time and the energy and the resources to do that kind of detailed work? Of course not. So what happens in those cases? That's left to your imagination. Now, let's say the case goes for trial. Now, when the case comes up, some lawyer has to present the case of the government or the prosecution, right? So we have a prosecution department. Its condition is probably just as bad, if not worse, than the investigation. In fact, if you look at any sensational case, any serious case, be it the Mumbai terror attack, when Ajmal Kasab was tried, or for that matter, look at Nirbhaya rape and murder case. In every sensational case, the government is appointing a special prosecutor. So what does it mean? It means that we do not have confidence in our normal prosecution. And that's a reality. Now the case comes for trial. And what about the courts? Again, the pendency in the Indian courts today is a few crores of cases are pending if you put together all the courts in this country. Again, the case goes into a queue and it will take years for it to come for trial. And when it does come for trial, then it will have postponements and adjournments. The whole process is very, 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 very tedious. In one of the films, Sunny, they will nicely summarize this as, Tariq pe Tariq. So there's adjournments and one day, another day, and so on. Of course, in some cases, in serious crime cases, it is done on day-to-day basis. And in special cases, the government may have a special court for that. But these special provisions don't change the reality that, for the regular run of the middle of the road kind of scenario, right? For a normal case, it just takes a lot of time. And when the trial starts, what happens? It's been years. Witnesses turn hostile, they have forgotten, some have died. And even in sensational cases like this, there is a very, very high probability that the case would end up in an acquittal, even if it had gone through all these hoops and reached to this point. So which means that when we say that justice delayed is justice denied, it is just lip service. Because we have been saying this for 70 years, since independence. Now the question is, how can we fix this? To be fair, this is not a simple problem. Think about it this way. So let's say there's a doctor who gets a patient and the patient is having a multiple organ failure. The liver is not working, the kidney is not working, the heart is not working, everything is broken. It's a complicated problem. Very often we hear solutions, as an example, hire more judges, or we need more magistrates, we need more courts. The answer is yes, we do, but that is not going to solve the problem. If you want to go from Bombay to Delhi and you have a bullock cart, you can maybe drive the bullock cart faster, but it's not going to change the answer. You need a train or maybe a plane. We need a fresh look and we need different solutions to this problem. In this series of videos, I would like to look at the criminal justice system piece by piece and understand what are the problems and come up with some ways, some innovative ways to solve those problems and bring about changes which can actually move the needle. Not just make small 1 or 2% or 5% impact, but which can change the game dramatically. Right? So if this is of interest, stay tuned and I will see you soon in the next video. Thank you.